name is Shishir Nigam and welcome to our channel again, Journey to Freedom, where you can follow along on our journey to financial freedom through the worlds of Shopify and dropshipping. So make sure you subscribe to our channel, hit the notification bells so that you get to know every single time we put out a brand new video. Today, we're going to be talking about why you should not fulfill your orders through AliExpress and what are the alternatives that are cheaper, faster, and more reliable. So let's get right into it. So, why you should not be using AliExpress if you are planning to scale your dropshipping business. Now here's the thing, in the beginning it's alright to do so. If you're having 5 to 10 orders per day, it's okay to start with AliExpress. But the moment you start scaling your business and you're starting to receive 20, 30, 50 orders a day, you should not be fulfilling through AliExpress. And here's why. Number one, most suppliers on AliExpress are unreliable. Now what do I mean by that? You can definitely find the good suppliers if you talk to enough of them and work with enough of them. But many of them you'll have communication problems with. You may face a language barrier. Many of them will not be able to answer your questions quickly enough to your liking. So very often in my experience, we've found that the reliability of suppliers on AliExpress is not that good. So here's the thing. You have to understand that beyond a certain stage, your business cannot be dependent and tied to a supplier that is unreliable, because that in effect makes you unreliable towards your customers, right? Because you can no longer respond to your customers quickly enough because you're waiting on an answer from your supplier on AliExpress who is not getting back to you in time, right? So those are the knock-on effects of having an unreliable supplier. The second aspect is, in the current environment of COVID-19, with many shipping delays and shipping hurdles coming out of China, you are going to experience skyrocketing e-packet shipping prices. What do I mean by that? Many suppliers are now actually raising and ratcheting up your shipping prices because it's much tougher to get products out of China into your destination countries, which may be United States, Canada, Australia, or the UK. And that's because the number of flights is very restricted now. So the amount of supply of those carriers is much lower, and as a result the shipping prices are drastically increasing. So if you are working directly with the AliExpress supplier, you actually have no transparency. You don't know what your shipping options are. So that's where ePacket at the moment, as I mentioned, is not very reliable, because many of the countries like the United States and Canada are not even accepting ePacket shipments anymore. And in some cases it may work, in some cases it may not. So my opinion is, if you are scaling your dropshipping business, don't take the risk, right? So don't take the risk of choosing ePacket shipping at this time. Over time, the situation will improve, no doubt, and then you can go back to using ePacket services. But at the moment, avoid that at all costs. Now, the fourth element, which I've learned through hard experience, is that the AliExpress suppliers can actually make your item, not make your item, but they can tell you that the shipment, the item that you're trying to sell is out of stock, and without really giving you any notice. So you could be running ads full on, at full throttle and marketing and seeing a good response rate from Facebook, but your item can suddenly go out of stock on AliExpress if that's all you were depending on, right? So one example I've shown here, this is the kind of message you'll see on AliExpress if suddenly your item goes out of stock. And the supplier is not obligated to give you any heads up because you're just one of many different buyers on AliExpress for that product. So this can really be a bad shock, especially if you have lots of pending orders that have come in and suddenly your supplier is no longer available. These dates here on the right hand side, these are what the shipping options typically look like on AliExpress. And what you'll notice is in AliExpress these days, you'll notice delivery dates which are very far out. And that's again because of the delays that the ePacket shipping is experiencing in getting the products to the target markets. So these are some of the main reasons why you should not be using AliExpress. Now you'll ask, okay, so what's the alternative? Let's get into that. Hope you're finding value in the content so far, guys, and if you are, make sure you smash that like button, subscribe to our channel, and hit the notification bell so that you get to know every single time that we put out a brand new video. And make sure you stay till the end of this one to catch all the content, and comment below on what you like and what you'd like to hear about. Stay with us. So try sourcing agents. Here's what we can do. Go on to any Facebook group and look for the terms sourcing agent or fulfillment agent. And what does that mean really? Sourcing agent basically refers to companies which are often sitting based out of China, and they act as the middleman between the dropshippers and the original source factories that are producing the goods. So they actually do a lot of the legwork in terms of sourcing the products for you and sending it to your end customer, which may be in the US or Canada or whichever market you're selling to. And that takes a lot of the legwork away from your desk onto theirs. So they essentially specialize in that role, and they're called third-party fulfillment companies. And these guys actually do a much better job than you can, because all you can do normally is you can go to AliExpress and sift through the different sellers that are selling your potential product, but they can actually go to the source factory and get it from the source, typically at a lower price. So these sourcing agents normally end up being cheaper, faster, and more reliable. And I'll explain how. So the first point is, how do you find them in the first place? Go to any Facebook group like I mentioned, look for the term sourcing agents or fulfillment agents, and you'll come across results like this where these business owners are advertising on these Facebook groups and suggesting, hey, why don't you use us as a sourcing agent in China? Are there any preconditions? Usually preconditions are that they expect a certain minimum number of orders before they take you on as a client. And that could be 10 orders a day, 20 orders a day, 30 orders a day. It depends from different sourcing agents. And you can message them directly to check whether they have any minimum order requirements. And then make sure you investigate, how their logistics works. How much do they charge to ship products to the United States? And typically what they will do is they will include the price of shipping in the quotation that they give you for that product. So coming to the price, usually they actually end up giving you a better price than what you would get if you bought from AliExpress, adding the shipping price. Because they are a 3PL company, third-party logistics company, they actually get better bulk deals in order to ship products to the United States and Canada and different target markets. So they're actually able to give you a better pricing because they have more options to ship the product to the end destination. And also because they're sourcing the products directly from the factory at cost price. So they make their margin in that middle ground. They will acquire the product from the factory. They will package it in their warehouse and send it off to your customer. And they'll give you one price for that. And typically, in my experience, that price ends up being lower than what I would have paid on AliExpress by choosing whichever shipping option I normally pick through AliExpress to get it to the customer. Now, second advantage is that it's faster. Why? Again, the reason why is that because AliExpress takes some time to process your order, and that again depends entirely on how efficient your supplier is, the one that you're working with on AliExpress. With sourcing agents, typically they're much more quicker. They will typically get your product out within 1 to 2 business days. So 24 to 48 hours is what it takes them to actually ship your product out, especially if they already have inventory of the product in their own warehouse. So it's faster definitely than AliExpress. The other aspect is that typically they even have other shipping options that can get your product to the target market on a faster speed than regular e-packet. And that's something that you need to explore with the sourcing agent so that they can share with you what kind of options are available to you to utilize. And the third aspect is auto fulfillment. Now, currently, if you're using AliExpress, you're typically doing it with Oberlo, which is an app for Shopify. And usually, when you get an order, you would fulfill it through Oberlo. You'll go to AliExpress. You'll get the address auto-populated through Oberlo. You'll click purchase, and then that cycle is set in motion through Oberlo and AliExpress. But you're ultimately fulfilling one order at a time. Now, auto fulfillment, what does that mean? Usually the sourcing agents have some sort of system. It could be an ERP system that connects on the back end of your Shopify store. It could be a simple CSV file, Excel file that you send to the sourcing agent at the end of every day. But essentially, they have an easy way to pick up all the orders that you are receiving on your store, and they will start fulfilling them as and when they come in. So that's what I mean by auto fulfillment. You no longer are responsible for clicking on each order manually and fulfilling it through Oberlo and AliExpress. So that again is a huge logistical workload that gets taken off of your desk as a business owner. Now here's another tip. If in the current environment you're looking for a sourcing agent, ask them whether they have the shipping options of UnExpress or Yanwen shipping available. These are the two shipping methods which are still performing reliably. Their price has also gone up, but they have been more reliable than e-package shipping. So ask your sourcing agent whether those options are available, and if they are, how much it will be to use them. Now here's the question of the day. Which shipping service are you currently using to fulfill your orders to the end customer? Make sure you comment below and let us know what kind of shipping services are you using and what difficulties, if any, you're experiencing with the shipping methods of your choice. So make sure you comment below and get the discussion going. Thirdly, try US fulfillment, right? It's a good time to be experimenting with US fulfillment because of the numerous issues that people are having exporting products from China to the US. So this is a good time to explore suppliers who are offering US fulfillment. What do I mean by that? On AliExpress, you can actually search for suppliers who are having a warehouse in the United States, and that means that they're shipping products locally from the US in 1 to 2 weeks. This is what it looks like often on AliExpress. There'll be a delivery from option, and there'll be different options: Australia, China, United States. And if that option is available, it means that typically they have a warehouse in that country, and they'll be able to ship it locally without going through that export process, which is normally a lot longer. Usually if you're fulfilling from the US, it typically takes about 5 to 7 business days, 1 to 2 weeks, depending on the supplier. So this is a great time to try US fulfillment and overcome some of those shipping hurdles. And finally, if you're scaling an existing winning item, meaning you have a product that you know is working and you're getting predictable orders every single day for that item, then it's a good time to even try purchasing stock of that item and shipping it to a US warehouse and fulfilling it through that US warehouse facility. So an example is a company called ShipBob, and that's a website you can check out. Just Google ShipBob and you'll see that a company that offers US fulfillment, they essentially accept the stock that you will export from China in bulk, and they will connect to your Shopify backend and fulfill your orders as they come in through your Shopify store locally within the United States. So in summary, as I mentioned again, this is a good time to try out US fulfillment because of all the difficulties that most dropshippers are facing exporting products from China and from AliExpress. So those are all the main reasons why you should not be using AliExpress to fulfill your orders if you own a Shopify dropshipping store. If you found some value in the content, make sure you hit the like button, subscribe to our channel, hit the notification bell so that you get to know every single time we put out a brand new video.